Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you. Not another peep.
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Then lock your door. 5, 6, crucifix.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Welcome, everybody, to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bonin.
Welcome,
here.
folks. Sorry I cut you off. Scotty Bonin here.
We are
The Blood Brothers.
along with
The Rob O'Neill.
Yeah, baby.
and Clive Barker's here with you all.
Yeah.
Clive Barker.
I've just smoked 5 packs of Marlboros this morning. And
Is
now
something I missed from last
cigarettes.
episode?
Now I'm going to do commentary on Candyman for all of you.
Did you have to? Did you get Clive Barker on commentary?
Oh, you're referencing the Candyman commentary.
Sorry.
Candyman.
That's how Clive
Candyman.
Barker sounds, just so you guys know.
I was wondering.
yeah, he
I was
sounds
like,
even
did I-
worse. The older he gets, the worse he sounds.
Yes.
Hey, he's a good movie maker, though. God bless him. Candyman.
I like this
Candyman.
movie. This is
Candyman. Candyman.
no.
There is happy boobs in this movie too, which was great.
Well, there was
There's a couple.
nipple peekage and then a straight up nipple see-through shirt.
Oh, yeah. And, well,
she had a little rackety rack. I mean, it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. Of course, the girl in the beginning was I don't know why she was wearing a bra. There's nothing to hold up.
oh, well, the main girl, Virginia Madsen, when the blood was all over her shirt, and then she had to take the shirt
yeah.
off.
Oh,
And then there was the blood-soaked bra with her nippins. Yeah, nippins
It's a
for the
good
pickings.
movie. This
It
is
was
a good movie.
Great movie.
I'm just going to say, loved the score.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Oh.
so different and awesome.
Philip
Loved it.
Glass. Great job, Philip Glass.
Who
on the
usually
score.
does artsy independent films and operas and things, and this was his first horror film, and I think he was a little embarrassed that he was involved with it, but score was awesome.
He's still getting checks every year from the royalties on this thing.
Oh yeah. She. Oh, sorry, I had to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
But she's the sister of Michael Madsen.
Oh, really?
Madsen, really? Oh, I think
Yeah,
I did
they-
know that.
I the name. I was like, Madsen. I had to
Michael
Wikipedia.
Madsen. I love him.
Yeah, that's her brother, and she's single.
Ooh, still
she
single.
was married at the time.
How old is she?
Of, of this movie.
She is 55.
Oh,
that's two cougars
not
for me.
quite to 60 yet.
No,
That's
it's
perfect.
not bad. And she's from Chicago, Illinois. And let's see here.
She's looking good.
My dad,
she-
my dad probably banged her. She's from the Chicago area.
I don't know about that.
The last time she was married was 93 to 98. So
apparently she was married during this, and this was 92.
To Antonio Sabato Jr.
Maybe.
Sabato.
So slightly
yeah,
off
it
there.
says partners. Well, it says spouses. Danny Houston, 89 to 92. Then she left him for the swarthy Italian Antonio Sabato Jr.
Oh.
From 93 to 98, she has one kid. So I don't know. I'm going to start getting on the Twitters.
Yeah,
Gonna
she's
have to
definitely
start
looking
getting on the Twitters.
Looking pretty milfy to me, for sure.
Let me see. Is
Got
there
the
a
curls
current
still
picture
going?
of her? Let me
Yeah.
flip that around here. Let me. Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
55.
Gosh, it's just a little too old for me. I mean, I would.
Oh no! And you get to hang out with your brother-in-law would be Michael Madsen. Are you?
And he'd like,
kidding
hey
me?
guys,
Cool.
get over here. I got some cigars.
Yeah.
I just picture Michael Madsen. What's the last thing I saw him?
Picture him and Clive Barker having a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
They both have that raspiness.
I like to make horror movies. Michael, pass me a cigar.
They just be mumbling the whole time. God.
Oh man, there's some current pictures of her. She is she's holding up well. That's all I can say.
She's not bad.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay, she's still a little.
But see, Michael
cougarish.
Madsen would probably get kind of annoying. You know, I was in Reservoir Dogs, right? Yes.
Yeah, we know.
Oh yes, we know. You know, I danced around and cut a man's. Yes. Oh damn it, Michael.
What's the last thing he was in? Yeah, damn, we got you. He was in that Quentin Tarantino one when they're in the snow and.
Was he?
Yeah, he played
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. Yeah, he was in Hateful Eight. Yes, he was.
Filmed right here in the great state of Colorado.
Telluride, Colorado.
Filmed right
baby.
up there in Telluride.
Yeah, home of the porcupine.
Yep.
I don't know about that.
I like that
there.
porcupine video you sent us with the coffee cup.
Was that a porcupine or was that a possum?
It was a porcupine.
I don't know what a possum looks
porcupine,
like.
same thing.
I don't know what
How
a
do
possum
y'all
looks
do?
like.
Do you guys not have possums in
I don't know.
Colorado?
What do they look like?
They're evil looking.
They're like smaller, right?
They're nasty little things.
Do they look like porcupines?
No,
okay.
they're hideous. They got giant sharp teeth and they're marsupials. They got weird tails and they got pouches.
Marsupials. I love that word. Marsupials.
So
They're swamp rats, man. They're just oh god, we got them everywhere here.
what better way to open a movie than with Ted Raimi?
Oh my God, Ted Raimi. Yeah, the boyfriend of the girl that got slain in the beginning.
Yes. Rob, tell me you didn't notice that.
I noticed right away.
I saw Ted Raimi.
He played Billy.
Good old TR.
But his girlfriend's boobs were quite small, I must say.
That's who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Well,
She didn't
it's,
need
you
the
know,
bra.
it's,
Yeah,
Ted,
she
it's
didn't.
Ted, not Sam. Ted can't afford jugs like his older brother Sam can.
That's true. Although
Yeah.
I did watch it a second time with commentary, and she seemed a little more attractive the second time around. I don't
She
know
was
why.
still a good-looking
I don't know
girl.
why. She had
Definitely.
some big teeth, and they were a little.
Spacey.
They remind me of what is that movie where someone
Jaggedy-
uses like chiclets as teeth? What?
Jigsaw?
Isn't that a movie? Isn't that in a movie?
Dennis the Menace.
Is that it? Dennis
Yeah,
the
I
Menace?
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
What happens? with
Christopher
that?
Lloyd.
He uses chiclets as the teeth.
Well, no, it was Walter Matthau was the old
yeah.
neighbor next door. And he was playing with
Grumpy
his
Old Man.
dentures. Damn it! How do I know this?
Yeah.
Because Dennis the Menace is a
So
great
was
movie.
it Dennis the Menace or was it Grumpy Old? No, it was Dennis the
It
Menace.
was, it was Dennis the
And
Menace
he
with
puts the
Martha.
chiclets in his dentures then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. All I can remember from that movie is Christopher Lloyd carving apples and eating only the skin.
Yeah. And he opens a can of pork and beans and eats it by the fire.
Yeah.
I
With-
sent
with
you a
Dennis the Menace.
picture of a possum just for your reference, by the way.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's what Christopher Lloyd reminds me of Pan's Ram because he's a
Yeah,
bum.
no one knows
A
we were
hobo.
talking about Pam.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Because that was part of the pre-show.
That's right. So you guys better get that.
which you can get if you subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/cultclassichorror.
That's right. You
So
can be
anyways,
Pan's Rammed.
I got a lot of stuff.
Candyman,
here.
1992.
I bought this movie so I could watch all the extras and listen to the commentary. That's how fancy I am.
You are
Must be
fancy
nice.
pantsy.
Must be nice to be all part of that top 1%. You know?
Fancy pantsy
Top
dancy.
1% can afford Candyman on DVD off Amazon. Yeah.
Was it
I bought the
DVD or
movie.
Blu-ray? Be honest.
DVD.
man.
They don't have it on Blu-ray.
Oh, but you
Yeah.
tried. But you tried.
I bought the movie on Vudu because it wasn't available for rent. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just buy it. And actually, I'm kind of glad I bought it because I'll probably watch it again. It was a good movie.
It's on
It
Stars.
was, it was free on Amazon.
no,
Was
it was free on Amazon if you had Stars channel.
Yeah,
I
but you
should've.
just say yes. I want to try Stars for a week. Then you just cancel that shit. Doesn't cost you a dime.
That's right. I should have watched it on Amazon, but I didn't want to plug it into my computer, so I just Chromecasted it.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's-
dropping the Chromecast.
I know.
And I should have.
Good God, how you people live in Colorado? It just blows my mind.
I was too lazy.
So these,
my God.
let's see. I'm just going to go here and start talking about this movie. That's what we do, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about these
I don't
bees.
even really know.
The bees were awesome.
Do we really talk about movies anymore?
A little bit.
We do.
So this whole thing was originally a short story by Clive Barker. Clive Barker.
The forbidden. Damn, we should have timed that.
Yeah,
We should have timed that.
Don't go there. It's for.
The forbidden. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The Forbidden.
So he wrote this book of short stories called Books of Blood. And this one was called The Forbidden and was one of them. So anyways, and part of what inspired this, I find this really weird. Clive Barker said that his mother told him when he was very little to be careful of public restrooms because men waited in them to pop out and cut your peeper off.
Well,
Really?
that's probably true. Like in the 60s, 70s in England.
Why would you tell your son that? I mean, when you're like 4, he said he was 4 years old.
Well,
Can you just imagine 4-year-old Clive Barker?
I don't want to cut my baby off, Mommy.
and his mom used the word peeper too.
Peeper.
Yeah, what mom tells her little kid that?
Mom.
Guys gonna come in and cut your penis off.
What's a peeper,
So
Mom?
be aware.
I'm 4 years old. I've already smoked 2 cartons a day.
Yeah, but you're a little bitch and you're smoking filter cigarettes.
You don't think he was rolling his
Don't
own?
make fun of me.
No, it probably wasn't rolling his own. Didn't have his red man.
I'm 4 years old and my phallus is pierced already.
Oh, God.
Phallus. God.
That's just because both his ears are pierced in the interview.
Are they?
In the interview.
Man.
Anyways.
Well, I mean, he is a flaming homosexual. He is allowed to have both ears pierced.
Is he homo? Is he gay?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. So propaganda films hired Clive to adapt The Forbidden into a screenplay. Clive then wrote a screenplay called Paper House, which they didn't really use, but it's Bernard is his name. It looks like Bernard, but his name is Bernard Rose.
Bernard Rose.
Transposed to like America and Chicago and renamed it Candyman.
Oh. I bet he named the character Bernadette in the movie after him.
Yeah,
Bernadette. No.
So you say it Bernadette.
Bernadette.
I've always wanted to be a
Bernadette
woman.
Rose. Yep.
You've always wanted to what?
I said he always wanted to be a woman.
Yeah.
He did. Yes, he might be. I don't know if Bernard is.
I think you said you've always wanted to be a woman.
Well, that
No.
Rob does. Oh, I know you do.
Bernard.
In the context of Bernard, damn it.
Okay, I got you.
Not that there's
For
anything wrong with
Bernadette.
that. Like if there's some male listeners out there that want to be women, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
I know
that's
that
fine.
you've always wanted
No
to be a
criticism.
woman, Rob. What would be your name?
There's
Rob,
always been some fantasies.
Rob.
Everyone has those
What's
fantasies.
a woman's name that starts with Rob?
It would be
Roberta.
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 How could I
Yeah,
not think of that?
it'd be Roberta, and I would be Italian.
Yeah.
Roberta.
Roberta.
Yeah.
Hey, Roberta, bring me the spaghetti.
Or Rabalita. No?
No, I'm feeling more Roberta.
Hey,
And
Yeah,
Roberta,
Roberta.
I love is the feeling of your beard on my ball sack.
Brush.
Sí, muy buena.
Muy
Is that
bueno.
Spanish?
Muy
Or
bueno.
is Italian and Spanish the same thing?
I think no.
Might be some similarities.
No, they're not the same thing. I was just joking.
So Bernard Rose was the director
Bernard.
and screenplay writer. So he wrote it and directed.
He set this in America, Chicago, and they did a week's worth of filming actually in Chicago. And they did 2 days of filming at Cabrini Green, which is an actual place, or was an actual place in Chicago. I think it's pretty much knocked down.
And they
by
referenced
now.
it in the movie.
It's the projects, dog. I'm talking. I'm talking
projects.
hood.
Do you see how much spray
projects.
paint was
I know.
on
I know
those
all about
buildings?
it. I'm from Tampa Bay. 813 holding it down.
Yeah, bitch.
Rob grew up in the projects.
The projects.
I grew up in the hood, son.
There are tons of graffiti around there.
Of course.
Now, the graffiti in this movie
There was tons of graffiti.
is real. I mean, the
Loved it.
exterior of Cabrini Green was shot there, and the stairwells leading up were shot there. So that's actually how much graffiti there is in the stairwells. I'm assuming they hired someone to spray paint "Sweets to the Sweet" on the side of the wall.
Oh, yeah. Which is a reference to William Shakespeare.
It is.
Sweets to the sweet.
But sweets
Oh,
to the
Bill
teat.
Shakespeare.
Sweets to the half teat in the tub.
Yeah, that's right. Half teat. Hamlet. That's from Hamlet. I should have trivia'd that, but
I can't
knows.
see very clearly, Dad. We got a Bill Shakespeare over here.
We got a Bill Shakespeare over here.
Well, actually, Matt, we really support Chris in his writing. I wish you'd just shut your big yapper.
There's him. There's you. There's him. Oh God.
I'm bunking with you guys. Anyways,
Foley, love him.
yeah.
What is that from?
It's
R.I.P. Chris Farley.
Matt Foley,
Motivational
speaker.
Van down by the river.
Yes. What was I? Oh yeah. So
Chicago.
Cabrini Green. They filmed 2 days there. It was very scary, I guess, because the cops helped to secure the place, although they did not have full control over all these gangbang, all these real hood gangsters. You know, like Rob over there. There's a bunch. It's basically a bunch of Robs. You know.
Of course, but yeah, I mean, I walked right into Cabrini Green. You got to have a secret handshake.
Apparently. Go. You just go.
No. It's okay. No, so I was just trying to help you out in case
apparently
you ever get caught in this situation out in Colorado.
So apparently you need to have like a curly mullet, a long beard, like a tribal arm tattoo.
Yeah, you got to turn your hat around backwards.
And then you're in?
Well, and then the secret handshake, which
of course.
I can't divulge, otherwise I'll lose my card. So
they give you a membership card
because they're listening.
Of course, how do you think they check people? They just don't let anybody walk in there.
Can I get a free trial membership card to try out?
It's been a long time now, but
they keep tabs on you
give it
too.
a shot.
Yeah,
okay.
They're probably listening, so you can't give up the secret handshake.
Yeah, they were all terrified at Cabrini Green because if any of the actors were anything close to the characters they portrayed, these are the most liberal, waspy white people that have ever walked on the face of the earth.
Oh yeah.
Well, so they did use actual people there. They used a building where they walked up the stairs, and rather than hire or have some other random people in front of the building, they just asked if they could film these people.
Perfect location for the horror movie.
Yeah, and so
we're here with this movie, and we're looking for.
Yo, what, motherfucker?
We're looking for poor.
That's probably real.
Gangsters, and you guys are already poor, and you kind of look like gangsters. Do you think we could just film you
be in the film?
background?
I'm in a motherfucking movie.
Yo, T-Dog. Is this cat serious?
Yeah. Are you guys cops? No, we're filmmakers. Yeah, whatever. They're wearing their neon green slate coats.
Listen up here. Hey, you listen to me. You listen to me. I've smoked more in my day.
Do you think Clive Barker was even on set? Oh, I guess he produced it.
Get over here and let me feel your hair.
Oh my God.
I wonder if he was on set. He might have been on set, even though he just produced it. But I bet you he was still there.
No, he was there. He was producing it.
Yeah.
He was on set. He said he was. So
because originally they were going to maybe film in Liverpool, England, but the guy said Rose said it was much easier to film in.
He said
Chicago.
He said there was some rough areas there too. They could have done.
Yeah,
but that's where he based his short story. Some place he grew up near that was rough town, very industrial, rough town. I was forced to give men in the bar blowjobs over and over again for 6 months straight and swallow every time.
Oh God. When I say forced, I mean I instigated the situation too.
I was the one that put it out there first. But
I had my tonsils removed by Jonathan Brookhart's mushroom head.
Who the hell's Jonathan
I don't know. I was
Brookhart?
trying to think of an English name. That doesn't really make sense.
Fuck.
Okay, so Cabrini Green, they actually filmed there. They worked with the people. It was very sketchy.
Please tell me there's a Jonathan Brookhart's in the cult class.
I hope so.
I'm sure there is.
Please.
And apparently, the last day of filming, there was a bullet shot through the roof of the camera truck and lodged into the floor of the camera truck. And who is saying this? Adam Poole is one of the producers. He was relaying this story, and they said they very quietly just wrapped everything up and got the hell out of there.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here now. But there's probably cops in set.
As you would. Is there a hole in the van? Nope, don't worry about it. No, we're just gonna pack. Let's go.
Go this way.
Let's not dwell on. So let's not worry about why it happened or how it happened. Let's just worry about how we prevent it from happening again by getting the fuck out of here.
I left my Zippo lighter up on the second floor.
We don't care, Clive. Like, we'll get you another one. It'll be fine. I promise.
My favorite Zippo lighter. God damn you.
Come on, Clive. Follow the trail of cigarettes. Come on, follow them. Here we go. We're just laying them out. Just follow them up.
That's all that's behind
one
him.
right after the other. One right after the other.
And all that's behind him is a bunch of stomped out cigarettes. That's how you find Clive Barker. You follow the stomped out cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Follow the stomped out ones, the ones that are crunched up on top of the trash can.
So, I guess Virginia Madsen and Tony Todd took waltzing and fencing classes together to become a little more intimate and feel these characters out. And there was a part in the movie, and I don't remember it being in this cut. I think it was cut out where they are actually dancing together. And it didn't test well with screening audiences. They didn't want them to get that close. But there was that in there, so that's probably why they did that.
Yeah, well, they got. I mean, they didn't have a lot of screen time together, but what time they had together, it was definitely intimate.
Well, they definitely paint Candyman and they talk about this in some of the featurettes I watched, as a tragic monster, much like Frankenstein or Dracula, where it's not necessarily his fault that he's a monster, and you feel sort of bad for the guy.
Oh, yeah, he had a good upbringing, but then he got doused with honey and got stung to death, and was naked and alone.
Rob?
It's pronounced Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
No, I don't feel bad for the Candyman.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean that whole because why did he get doused by honey again? I kind of missed that.
So he was a painter.
He was out there philandering with somebody's daughter.
Well, he was hired to capture a plantation or ranch owner's daughter in a painting. Right. I'll capture her beauty in this painting, which you've done that, right, Rob? I mean, you're down south there. People do dumb shit.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah. No, yeah. Just plantations down here as far as the eye can see.
Yeah. I mean, I can just see a portrait of Rob with like a trucker hat on with some hair coming out the back and a long beard with some I don't know, what's a southern food with some Creole stuck in it.
Now you gotta get some fried okra.
Fried okra stuck in the beard, and he's got like a tie-dyed wife beater on with his gut sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
And but he does have a intriguing look on his face, and he's holding his chin,
as if I'm thinking.
I can picture that. I can picture that.
Yeah. So, anyways, those kinds of portraits. And so was painting the white woman and fell madly in love, and he got her pregnant, and the father found out and hired a bunch of hooligans to beat him to death.
That's right.
Strip him, cover him with honey, throw him in the bees, really batter up the hive and unleash the bees on him, and that's how he died. And at first they cut off his arm.
That's right.
His hand.
Because then that's why he got the hook. Which, by the way, that hand, that hook, looked like it might have been like badly infected. He needed to clean that thing.
Yeah, that thing's still bleeding.
It was
it's pretty rough.
But he's immortal, so
he could have used some Bactine on that.
Yeah.
So, is he a Highlander? Is that what we're trying to get at?
I don't know what he is.
Is he immortal?
The truth.
I mean, he died in the fire. Apparently, but
that's the only thing that's sort of confusing me about this movie. Is he or is he not immortal? Obviously, he's lived this long or came back to life. So, is he a ghost, or is he been allowed to come back right now, or does he live somewhere else? Sort of like Pinhead lives in hell and comes up to pull pranks. Does he live somewhere else and comes up?
We don't really know where Pinhead lives at this point because there's some kind of weird still space-time continuum going on that I still haven't worked out with that. I think Candyman's kind of like that pansy Freddy Krueger, who if nobody believes in him, then he doesn't exist.
That is what it is. That's what it is. He said his congregation has
To Helen.
has left him and no one believes anymore, but she will now help them believe.
Yes.
I'll make this crazy white woman go kill people's dogs. Now they'll believe in me again. And even if they don't, this will be really funny to watch.
Yeah, exactly. It's for his pure entertainment. He's like, what can I get this crazy white bitch to do?
Did you guys you guys miss me last week, by the way?
Oh, were you gone?
I know you guys missed me. Yeah. I saw all kinds of comments on the Facebook page.
Every day that I wake up and you're not beside me, Scott.
See, I know. I need to.
We just missed him so much.
I know. Was the movie good though? Was it a good movie?
I don't even remember what we watched. Oh, Hellraiser.
It was not a good
Hell
movie.
World.
No, it was not a good
Or Hell on
movie.
Earth.
Imagine all the
Hold on
other
now,
crappy
Rob.
Hellraiser movies we've watched, and then that's basically what we watched.
Hold
again.
on now, Rob. They had compact discs and cellular phones in that movie.
Oh, and Lance Hendrickson was in it, right?
Discs.
And Lance Hendrickson.
Don't forget to check out Hellraiser 6 on DVD.
You wouldn't steal at the grocery store, would you?
Oh my God, I love those. I forgot about that. Yeah. Wasn't that the commercials where there's like some like soccer mom in a park and somebody runs up and steals her purse?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it's like they're like so epically like, you wouldn't steal like money from a purse or whatever. You wouldn't rob a car, would you? Or you wouldn't steal a car, would you? Well, downloading movies illegally is stealing.
Yeah. I'll go watch that movie.
Yeah, and you just have no idea what's going on until Lance Hendrickson explains everything for 20 minutes in the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it fucks off. Then it fucks off and changes everything again, and you're like, oh, maybe it was a dream within reality with Bishop from Aliens.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So it's pretty much like this, the last two. Robert did.
So this
but it did have Henry Cavill.
That's true. Henry Cavill, Superman, and Bishop.
Nice.
And it did have some hot 90s or early 2000s dressed girls because that's my jams. Belly shirts, low-rise jeans.
I like that.
No high-waisted shorts.
High-waisted.
Hell
Nope. I got to have my early 2000s dressed.
I love the low-waisted.
Straight hair, straightened hair, belly shirts, low-waisted pants. Oh, I'm all about it.
Those were the best.
I wish those days would come back.
I know, man. God.
So this movie, it caused some controversy around the time. It plays a little on the race war, you know? You got the projects and the bad guys black, Tony Todd. And
yeah.
So some people were claiming it was outright racism. Some were not claiming that at all and just saying it was an interesting play on it. But I don't know. I didn't really think of it either way. I didn't think it was
because what they were saying, like, why shouldn't a black actor play Freddy Krueger or Hannibal Lecter? You know. And,
but then some people were saying, "Oh, why is the bad guy black?" and it's all dangerous in the black part, and you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they could have flipped the script, but then it would have been in a trailer park in South Carolina somewhere with a bunch of dangerous white rednecks.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's just not as entertaining because. And then also, I think the other side about that is it's in the projects and everything. And Tony Todd is awesome. He's
I love Tony Todd.
Yeah, Tony
he's got to be top three or five villains of all time. Tony Todd.
He has that low, like bowling voice.
He's got the voice, and I think.
And he'll cameo. He's so much fun to see him in something else, and he plays. He loves horror, from what I can tell, and he seems to be really cool. But the other part about that is, like, if you had this in some white trash redneck trailer park and you flip the script, there wouldn't be these black, like, graduate students going there. They have more sense. It's the dumb white people that don't have the sense. Like, it would, you know what I mean? Like, we're watching the movie and she's walking into the project. She's like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. Yeah. No, she's that stupid. Yeah, okay. I'll go with it. Like, don't think about it for a second. Sure, she's an idiot. That's fine.
And you gotta love Tony's. I mean, he's got the massive coat with the
the
hook
on the
Oh yeah,
and the coat was Clive didn't like the coat really, and it was Bernard's idea to use the coat. And he thought it sort of portrayed royalty, like he's going to the opera or something.
Sure,
A high class. And you'll notice his lines in it, Tony Todd's lines, are very much that of a person of stature or class back in the day.
Yeah.
So they wanted him to feel very regal.
Yes.
The way he talks and the way his dialogue is, you can tell it's really like his character thought it out and stuff, and it really comes across regal for sure. I couldn't believe
he's a sexy man about town.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a sensual, seductive voice.
Be my victim.
He'd draw me in for sure.
Sweets to the sweet.
Oh yeah.
You can just imagine him grabbing a woman's hand with his hook and just sweets to the sweet and kissing her fingers.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, hi.
oh my goodness.
Come here, Clive. Tony. Oh, Tony.
They were Eddie Murphy was the original choice for Candyman too.
Oh God.
But thank God that didn't work.
But the filmmakers could not afford him, according to Todd.
What you want to come over here? What, you don't know who I am? I'm Candyman, bitch. What you don't know me?
Yeah, come on.
Yes. That would have been sweets to the sweets. No, Tony Todd is the man. Tony Todd.
Yeah. Well,
nobody could have played Candyman but Tony Todd.
Yeah.
No.
According to Todd, though, he met with Rose and he just said, "You know that I'm going to do the best that I can," and he read it and he saw the B stuff and he knew that things like that haven't been filmed before, so it was just an interesting, portrayal and he was already like in it, and so I thought he did a great job. Whoa! Those
Speaking
bees!
Speaking of being in it, I'll just get into this. Just get into this horror halftime, real hard and nice and solid into the juicy horror halftime.
Goodness gracious!
That means it's time for horror halftime. All right, we got some participants this week. I'm really gonna miss. I'm not gonna miss watching all these latter day Hellraiser movies.
No, not at all.
But I am gonna miss talking about Prankster Pinhead.
Yes, I'm gonna miss Mr. Doug Bradley, the prankster.
Oh, so we do have a winner for the horror halftime, and you almost didn't win because I can't even pronounce your fucking display name on Facebook. But our winner is Nutignik Mornstar.
Yeah, Nutignik.
I don't think that's your real name, but you can message us on the page, and you'll have to give me your real name.
But it might be.
Which is probably like Clarence Melford.
It might be Mornstar.
Because I'm going to have to ship you something. You're going to have to give me your real name. So that's our winner. Close second was Anthony Henson with his awesome fucking...
Oh, yeah. Bring a case of Zimas.
Pinhead's called a Bill Thornbury.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm sorry.
That was great.
Anthony, keep playing, please, because that was hilarious. We enjoyed the straight out of car keys a little bit too much. That's why you won.
They were both close.
That was great.
They were both close.
And we had some good ones. Stephen Reed and Jonathan Brindle
these guys
had some good ones.
These guys are every weekers, so I just trust in them, and they know who they are.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys are great.
So yeah,
keep them coming.
I feel like I have to say it like with a Norwegian or a Swedish accent. So Nutignik Mornstar, please would you message the page?
Maybe he's from Sweden.
Yeah, would you message the page, please?
Good man.
All right.
Great shit.
So for next week, we're on to
Candyman.
I can't do it, Tony.
Candyman.
Get your Candyman memes in so you can be horror freak of the week and win some shit.
Tons of opportunities for
and
this
you know
one,
what you guys aren't doing? Oh, well, a couple of you have. If you want to, you should. Those of you who win should send us the pictures of you wearing or holding, whether we give you stickers or a shirt or whatever, so then we can add it to our horror freak of the week album on the page.
You guys
So,
can be featured in that page.
You guys can be featured on the page.
Okay.
Who's that?
Make sure that you submit the memes in our CCH group, Cult Classic Horror group on Facebook, and use the hashtag horror halftime.
Yes.
That's how we will find you.
And I want to give a shout out to Gerald Rasta.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Jarrell.
Jarrell Rasta hyphen Rasta Lay, because he has
Super
been
Rasta.
requesting Candyman
Yes, he
for
has.
a long time.
I did talk to him too.
I thought you were going to say Gerald Ford.
This one goes out to Jarrell.
All right. Goes out to you. All right. That concludes the horror halftime.
Yes,
Moving back.
Was that
to
Sean Connery? Scotty dropping Scott.
Sean Connery.
Oh my God, Sean Connery is Candyman. Let me be
I'm
your
best
victim.
friends with Sean Connery.
Come here.
I
You
like-
belong.
Do you want to smoke a carton together? I got.
I do not
I got
smoke.
5 minutes.
I can't do a Sean Connery anymore.
I should have got water. Wow.
I was just lucky. Here, up. I don't have any left.
Okay. Anyways, bees.
Let's talk about the bees in this movie.
Bees.
Bees? The bees.
The bees. So the bees were real.
They were specifically bred for this movie.
Apparently, bees, once they're 24 hours old, will sting more often than when they're younger than that. So they got bees that were 12 hours. They had a bee guy, a bee guy. Of
course, the bee
Something
guy.
like maybe Rob would do, down south there.
Yeah. Waiting for that phone to ring.
Some fresh honey.
They had a bee guy, and they built a spot on top of the studio to house these bees. And he would hatch, the bee guy would hatch the bees so they would be very young, and then he would dot queen bee pheromones where he wanted them to go. So whether that was on Virginia's face, in Tony Todd's mouth, on a mouth guard, he would dot that with the queen bee pheromones. The bees would go there and attach themselves. And then since it was queen bee pheromone, they were in protection mode. So it wasn't so much stingy mode. They were like protecting Virginia or Tony Todd or whoever. Although Tony did get 4 or 5 stings in the mouth. And, there was the occasional sting, but they were just way less likely to sting if they're under 24 hours old. And
It wouldn't be powerful enough to do any real damage.
they used that pheromone. So they were real bees. They were in Tony Todd's mouth. And there was a cut. The original ending had Virginia Madsen. The camera at the end would like peek through a crack in the wall of Candyman's lair, and it would zoom through, and it would be Virginia's inside of a I don't want to say honeycomb. What the hell is a bee? A hive?
Hive.
She's in the middle of a hive,
They have a honeycomb.
and there's 3,000 bees all over her burnt head. And they actually shot this and had the 3,000 bees on her head. And she said that, it was very grueling, and she was very proud of herself for doing it. It got very warm with the bees on her and the lights on her. The bee guy would have to come when they were done and lightly vacuum all the bees off her head with this little vacuum thing. And then they ended up not using any of it.
Yeah.
So,
And apparently she's allergic to bees, too.
yeah, she is allergic
Yeah,
to bees.
didn't they have an ambulance
Yeah.
on site at
Yep.
all
Yep,
times?
At all times. God.
Yep.
And apparently Tony Todd, throughout the whole trilogy, was stung 23 times.
Well, we'll get into the
Or
second
more.
one and third one, but he did say like 4 or 5 times this one, and then he did allude to the fact that he was stung a ridiculous amount of times on Candyman 2, I believe. Farewell to the bee stings.
I love this, because you don't really see. I mean, this movie is like the only movie that I can think of with like with adding the bees in as like a bad guy. I mean, there's killer bees and stuff like that can do some harm, but this really played a part in it too. This is really cool because they could have just had him to be a mass murderer and he got killed by getting his head chopped off or something. But the bees were a cool effect. I like that a lot. That toilet
Yeah,
bowl,
it was very cool.
the toilet bowl covered with bees. Those are probably all real. I'm guessing. But yeah.
I mean, they brought them all in, and I guess nowadays this probably wouldn't be possible because apparently the bees have now mated or somehow been hybrid bees. The what do they call them? Africanized bees or something like that.
Africanized bees.
Yeah, some species of bees they've mixed with, and they're much more aggressive and sting more. So he said if you tried, and this was at the time of the commentary, which I think was still probably at least 10 years ago or more, these bees, you wouldn't be able to do it nowadays because they would be stinging way too much.
Yeah.
But of course, nowadays, they just CGI everything.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't see a lot of CGI in this. There might have been one, like during the fire at the very end when the fire was kind of going crazy and sparks were flying. That looked a little bit of CGI, but other than that, it was really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a lot of bad things to say. I mean, there's a few things, but that's really not.
Yeah, it was amazing what they did with that. And apparently the bees, they would fly towards the lights and their wings would get burned off. But then I also heard that the young ones couldn't fly yet before they were 24 hours old. So I don't really know what's going on with that. Some conflicting news there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought I was going to say one other thing about the bees. Fuck.
Bees.
They did have to have, what do you call that? Like I don't want to say the ASPCA or whatever, a representative on set to make sure no harm was coming to the bees.
Yeah, well, like someone from
EPA, maybe that's what it is. No,
what's the animal rights program?
Yeah, it's probably the ASPCA.
Maybe it is
ASPCA.
ASPCA.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't you know, Rob? Don't you guys like boycott everything down there?
Yeah, we do, but I mean, like the ASPCA is so easy to boycott.
Or don't you protest everything down there? Don't you eat like dogs and stuff?
Oh, I mean,
Or PETA.
Yeah.
Maybe it's PETA.
It could be PETA. People eating tasty animals.
Yeah,
That's a good one. No, I'm sure there's somebody on there. These bees are only allowed to work. There's probably the bees probably had their own union representative.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, before
These
this,
bees-
Clive didn't have a raspy voice. He actually did the bees in the mouth too. That's what happened to him. That was fucking stupid. I got nothing.
Yeah. Oh,
Can
yeah.
I light the bees on fire and smoke them? No, Clive. Look, I'm calling Doug. I'm calling Doug this second. This is ridiculous.
Doug, what's your take on this? God damn it.
Doug's like, no. I'm allergic to bees. No, that's not. No, we're not. That's not funny. Like, we're not playing that game.
Apparently, if Virginia Madsen didn't accept the part, they were thinking of Sandra Bullock to play the part.
Sandra Bullock was the backup, and she was unknown at the time.
Yeah, which 92 didn't Speed come around out during that time? I don't know.
The drug or the movie?
Well, both. No, the movie. Speed. Let's see when Speed came
Speed is a hell of a drug.
out. 1994.
A hell of a drug.
So Speed was 2 years after this. But yeah, they were thinking of Bullock, but Virginia Madsen obviously took, and she was obviously a
We'd have to check in with.
actor.
I ruined my own joke. What's the guy's name from not Bill Thornbury from Phantasm?
Reggie Bannister?
No.
The crack addict.
Yeah,
guy.
the crack addict.
Oh no,
Michael.
Something.
I just gonna say.
damn it! Now I gotta Google.
I was gonna say you have to check on the release date of any and all drugs with him. He'll know.
Yeah.
Apparently, Virginia was actually hypnotized for most of these hypnotic scenes.
Michael Baldwin.
Michael Baldwin.
A. Michael Baldwin.
Michael Baldwin. Yes. Check with him. He'll let you know when all the drugs came out.
Yeah.
So she went to a hypnotist, or they had a hypnotist come out. They did it once, and the hypnotist taught Bernard how to do it. And he literally hypnotized her a lot during the filming of this. And at first, it took him a while, 20 minutes of them off in a corner while everyone was quiet and fucking waited and everything. Mm-hmm. And finally, he would get her hypnotized where she said she wasn't unconscious, obviously, but just zoned in, couldn't hear anything else. Mm-hmm. Her eyes got this, and they did it because her eyes got this really glassy, glazed over look, and that's what they wanted to see in the camera there. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was very believable during those times when her eyes were like crying and watering and stuff.
They kept trying to speed up the process. The sound guy kept offering her weed, and she wouldn't take it.
What?
Yeah, I think Bill Thornbury ran sound.
Yeah. I got some dank shit here, man.
Oh my god!
He was a sound guy, Ned. Yeah.
I just made all this up, by the way. I just
That
thought,
was no. Bill Thorn, no, don't backpedal. Big Bill Thornberry, William Thornberry ran sound on this one for sure.
He's like, man, we don't need all this hypnotist stuff. Just have us get a smoke on this fatty J right here.
Come on now, man. Look,
Her eyes look all bloodshot.
Oh, it comes from the earth, man. It's natural, man. Come on. 420. It's like, what was I saying?
Oh, I forgot.
What happened, man?
I lost my train of thought, dude.
Action.
Are we rolling? Are we rolling now?
Action. The mid scene, the sound goes. Oh man! I spilled Zima all over the Tascam, man. I'm sorry.
Man,
Bro,
I'm sorry.
so sorry, man.
When we did Phantasm, man, it was more loose. It's like, oh man, where am I? Where am I at right now?
Are we in Chicago? Oh my god!
Oh no way, man! The breezy city, right? Yeah, like
man. I thought I was signing up for Willy Wonka, man.
The hell is this?
The hell, Candyman.
Yeah, where's all the candy corns, dude? And Snickers.
This is all the sound is when they turned it in. It's him after extremely high going, you can take a rainbow, love it in a tree. The Candyman, the Candyman can. Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love. He makes the world taste good.
I wrote that. I wrote a different version for you guys.
Okay.
God.
So yeah, she was actually hypnotized. Finally, they got to where they could just do it within a few minutes and she'd get in the zone. But then she had to stop doing it because it was getting to having an effect on her. She was, it's feeling dark and lonely and it was affecting her emotions. So they had to stop hypnotizing her.
Oh.
Yeah, that and she kept waking up naked in other people's trailers.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Tony Todd's.
With blood all over her and a dog's decapitated head there.
She's in Tony Todd's trailer.
She's gonna freak out. She's gonna freak out when she sees this dog head.
Shit.
Bill, will you please stay out of the special effects booth, please? No, man. No, it's gonna be great when she sees this dog head. She's gonna flip. Oh my god.
She woke up naked in Tony Todd's trailer, wondering if she just had a baseball bat shoved up her.
Oh god.
That's what it felt like, anyways.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So, anyways, we were already talking about the score a little bit. Philip Glass. I just wanted to
kind of Omen feel with the choir.
They did a little bit, and I loved this score a lot. It was awesome. I want to circle back to it because Philip Glass wrote this whole theme and a few different themes before he even saw the movie or anything. I think he had read the script, just wrote it all, and that was it. Then they used these and cut them into the film. So it wasn't your normal thing where the film's done and then the composer has like 2 weeks to write the score and get it all done. Mm-hmm. And I think they cut in his score and then he might have gone back with an actual choir and organ and sort of redid the parts to fit more smoothly. Mm-hmm. But ultimately they cut it in from what he had already created, which was interesting. And then Bernard did right away write a sequel because he was contractually obligated, but they trashed it right away. Didn't use it.
Bernard, sons of bitches.
Yeah, which is probably good. And we'll see how the second and third one are. I'm going to assume they're not quite as good as this one, but I don't know. We'll see.
Because
the second one's pretty good. I like the second one.
Did Barker have anything to do with the second and third?
I think so.
Yeah.
I got to look. I don't know.
I'm assuming he would.
But Barker was talking, and maybe it was even Bernard on the commentary about how, and he had a good point. The original is really always the best because there's mystery involved. You don't know who did it yet. You don't know what he looks like yet necessarily, unless they've given it all away in the cover of the previews. You don't know how it goes down, what happens. You come to a sequel, everything's been played out already. You already know what to expect. Mm-hmm. You already know everything. So all that mystery's gone. It's sort of just like, how's it going to happen this time? You know?
Yeah.
And I never really thought of it that way. And another thing that Clive Barker said is that these monsters almost become comical after a while, or they become the they become
just like Pinhead.
They become the court jester, is what he said. They become the court jester after a while, just sort of like Freddy Krueger becomes comical. Comedian. He even took a jab at himself and included Pinhead in that. And they become comical after a while. It's funny to look at almost.
Oh yeah, he is for sure.
He said Candyman, at least after this first one, doesn't lend itself to that. So
No.
So
I was good. There was in fact a Candyman killer too, in real life that was a fictional, different to the fictional character, of course. So Dean Corll was a serial killer in the Houston area who raped and murdered numerous boys from 1970 to 1973, and he lured children into his home using candy from his family's factory. So the media dubbed him as the Candyman.
Oh.
Dean Corll had 2 teenage accomplices who actually helped lure the young boys, but then Dean plotted to rape and kill one of them. Then they shot and killed him.
Dean, a.k.a. Clive Barker.
Yep, Dean. Clive Barker. Corll.
Clive did say that, this movie is one of the first movies to sort of have an urban legend feel to it. Well before Urban Legends, the movie. And
Urban Legends.
So I guess Clive was getting a bunch of flack from a couple professors after this movie came out. There's a bunch of controversy over the racism stuff, but then also about some people almost giving him too much credit, like, he must have really studied into urban legends to form this urban legend into the way it works. And he's like, no, I just wrote the story. But then there were others that actually thought the Candyman wasn't already an urban legend and saying how he... was doing it wrong somehow, like not to the details of the legend, but that it doesn't really go with the way a normal urban legend. Mm-hmm. So anyways, he like wrote a letter to a certain professor. It was like, this isn't an urban legend. I made the whole thing up. The professor was like, I thought it was already an urban legend of lore.
Yeah, I thought this has been around for a while.
So
it's like, no, I wrote this. It's all made up. Don't worry.
Yeah. In the beginning, you'll notice they love those helicopter shots, and apparently, they were the first ones to rig a camera on a helicopter pointing straight down. So they had to almost create their own rigging for the camera.
What was that shot of like the Chicago city with all the bees swarming up around it?
Well, but it's mainly the opening. Shadows. It's mainly the opening credits when you're looking straight down on the freeways and everything.
Yeah,
as the movie's starting. And,
you can tell the Sears building was a big stick out. You're like, Chicago.
If you look closely, Clive Barker's masturbating on the overpass.
That was him.
Yeah.
I thought that was Christopher Lloyd in his hobo outfit.
And that was Clive Barker showing up that hack Stanley Kubrick. Everybody thinks the Shining opening is so impressive.
He's going, I'm artsy as fuck. Watch me jerk off. Watch me jerk off on this semi off this overpass.
And then he jerked off onto a windshield of a semi, which caused a 4-car pileup.
Yep. Yeah. I saw that pileup too from the aerial shot.
Run away! Run away!
His like massive goop load just covered the entire fucking windshield. Wait, there's more. Oh God! He's hands on the railing. I'm sweating. There's more. Oh God!
You know what?
Check your facts. It really happened.
You know what?
Just check.
Yeah. You know what?
Your facts.
Candyman is kind of a prankster though too, because he keeps prankstering Helen with fucking murder like 4 times.
That's true.
And she like. The cops come in and she's there with a knife and there's blood all over the place. And then she supposedly kills her friend Bernadette with a knife, but then Candyman does it.
She hits her. She hits her main artery in her shoulder.
Yeah, blood squirting out everywhere. And then Trevor
glances her and just an explosion of blood.
Blood, yeah, everywhere.
Then she runs out and Trevor's just sitting there looking at the body. Nothing's happening.
I wanted to have a lot of just a lot of geysers of of coming to, as if the blood was spurting out of something, as if there was a large load of blood coming out and covering everyone's face, as if it had been bottled up and held for so long.
Soaking through the carpet down to the next
I just
floor.
wanted to. I just want.
He had a lot of. Well, of course, that's what his whole character was. He had a lot of monologues throughout this.
I'm still doing Clive Barker here.
Oh well, that sounded actually kind of like Candyman.
I can't
Come
get him.
into
Can't do
my
him.
dominion.
So
You will believe me.
this Bernard was also inspired by the Bloody Mary urban legend for this movie. As you tell, they're very similar. You're supposed to look in
Bloody
the mirror.
Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
You're supposed to say Bloody Mary apparently 13 times.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know it was 13. That's a lot.
And this is the way he put it because he's English. You say Bloody Mary in the mirror 13 times, and she'll do you.
Do you?
That's what he sounded like. I was like,
sex?
oh.
Do you?
I was like, oh. Well, that's every boy's dream.
Well, isn't the movie? Isn't like one of the paranormal activities? They do the Bloody Mary thing in like a mirror,
Yeah, and she comes out and does
she
them.
comes out and does them. Yeah. So yeah, it's true.
That's what he said. She'll do you.
How many people you
I
think?
mean, Rob, you'd be in front of that mirror all night long.
yeah.
Come on,
just-
Bloody Mary.
Come on. Just one more time. Just one
And
more.
you know why they call her Bloody Mary, right?
Because she's
Ah.
She's on the rag the
it's
whole
always
time.
that time of the month every time.
You can play in the Red Sea, you just can't drink from it.
Ooh, yikes, a doodle dandy.
All right, you got it.
Ooh, yikes.
So originally in the script, you had to say Candyman 13 times.
Oh, that would have really made the movie quite long.
Yeah, as soon as they sat down to do a script read, they immediately realized how dumb that was.
Yeah, 5 times is good.
She's like, Candyman, 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 Candyman.
The whole
Candyman.
opening scene
Are
would
we
have
done yet?
taken forever.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you so many people after watching this movie went home and looked in the mirror and said Candyman 5 times, or they were afraid to say it the 5th time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know if I ever saw this.
Tony Todd will appear behind you in the mirror and jam his rod 8 inches up your ass.
Right up his hook, right up your
That's what happens.
anal hole.
Which, by the way, where's that note here? It's towards the bottom. God, I have to find it because I wrote down the exact way he said it. Where the fuck is it?
See, the hook was added. The hook must have been an afterthought.
Oh, Bernard, just plainly in the commentary, was like, oh, yeah. And a lot of people thought, a huge cock on his hand. It's like he has a huge cock on his hand and he puts it up inside of people. I'm like, I wasn't thinking that at all.
No, I
actually.
never thought that.
And he's telling stories like, oh, yeah, I ran into so-and-so and I said, oh, what'd you think of Candyman? And he burst out laughing and I instantly knew what he was talking about.
Because
of the cock on the hand.
Cock on the hand.
And shoving it right up people. I was like, I wasn't thinking of that whatsoever.
Yeah. I was thinking he had a big ass hook and he was, or coming from the side, not necessarily through like up his butt, but through his side, through his back. Something.
It's a lot like Friday the 13th. It's like he has a big, like he's holding a big cock and he puts it inside of you. A
big
lot
machete.
Like or it's a lot like Nightmare on Elm Street where he has many little cocks and he puts all of them inside you at once, right?
His finger.
Yeah.
He has finger. Yeah, he has dick fingers. Dick fingers.
And Clive's like, hire this guy.
He's in.
He's
And I wish everything was a cock going into me.
This guy is revolutionary.
This movie did quite good though. Budget was $8 million. Box office.
I heard 7 from the commentary,
Okay.
but who knows? Box office what? Let's see if they
Wikipedia
match.
never lies. Just joking.
What is it? What's your box office?
25.7 million.
Okay,
that's
I got
only
26,
US though.
26 million.
So that's not UK. Because it was released
It
in
was
the
a
UK
good release.
in 93 and then US was 92.
Propaganda Films financed it, and then TriStar distributed it. But I think the original deal was just a distribution for video, home video, and cable, and they got a box office release. Also, just as a side note, Virginia Madsen was discovered by John Lynch for the film Dune
Oh,
play the sexy
Dune.
princess or whatever she was in that.
She looks familiar.
But then you realize she's Michael Madsen's husband, sister, and Bernard was friends with her ex-husband or something like that. So it's like, did she really get it on her own merits? Which I'm not saying anything because she did a great job. She was a great actress.
She was awesome in this movie.
I think she was awesome.
Great.
She had that. She acted it perfectly. She had that like very mysterious. I don't know. The vibe she put off was just really good.
Professional, but some innocence to her, and it was really good. And her husband Trevor, Xander Berkeley, he's been in a few things too, right?
Yeah.
I've seen him.
he has.
What was the last? The one thing I did actually kind of recognize him is MASH, because I used to watch that
Was
as
he
a
in
kid
MASH?
back in the day. But the most notable thing is The Walking Dead. He was in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He plays Gregory.
Gregory.
Rob doesn't watch that, right, Rob?
No, I do not watch that.
But he's been in a lot of stuff. Tons
It's
of
just
stuff.
it's
He
just
watches-
soap opera trash.
He watches Jersey Shore, but will not watch The Walking Dead.
I
Sons
love
of bitches.
Jersey Shore.
I love blood. And
I also love
Shore.
Jersey Shore. It's like they're all just cocks and they're putting themselves into people.
This movie did have a lot of good graphics, though. There was a lot of good blood scenes. Of course, the hook, the bloody hand and hook, but it did justice. for
Bernard
that
wanted
too.
Virginia to gain weight, actually. Apparently, she was pretty skinny and good looking at the time. And he wanted her to look more real. And so we wanted her to gain weight, and she didn't want to. And he knew her weakness was pizza. Pizza and big black cocks, but mainly
Why would
pizza.
she want to gain weight for
And
this?
so he would bring her little by little pizza all the time. And she mentioned that she couldn't say no. And by the end of the movie, she had gained some weight and was eating a lot
Here's
of pizza.
some French fries too.
Yeah,
why
she
would
was
she wanna
looking.
gain
She was,
weight?
she, was, she was looking good.
She was looking great.
Wanted her to look more real.
Oh, come on.
Another side note I forgot to mention when we were talking about Cabrini Green. Apparently, at some point back in the day, the actual mayor of I think Chicago, as a publicity thing, lived in it for a week. Lived in Cabrini Green for a week. That just sounds fucking stupid.
Cabrini Green.
It went over. I mean, she did get raped 4 times, but it was good for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good publicity stunt.
So that was Cassie Lemons that you said?
I don't know who the mayor was at the time.
Oh, no.
The mayor, I said.
The
I
mayor.
don't know who.
Mayor.
I'm just seeing if I'm missing anything here.
Cassie Lemons was the best friend. That was Bernadette.
Yeah.
She also played the best friend in another slasher movie named The Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
Right before this,
Didn't realize
1991.
I wanted to make this like Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs was much like someone putting a cock in someone else from behind.
Yes, like Hannibal Lecter does in prison.
She was also the New Orleans detective in Hard to Kill with Jean-Claude Van Damme
Oh
and Lance Henriksen.
yeah,
Are you talking about? You're talking about Virginia Madsen
Hard Target?
No,
or Cassie
no.
Lemons?
You
Hard
mean
Hard
Hard
Target
Target.
was with Cassie whatever.
Lemons, yes.
Oh yeah.
Which did you
Hard
guys
Target.
notice? Cassie Lemons is black, right? I mean, she's.
Yeah, of course.
But that one, the part where she comes in, they go to the projects, and the lady with the baby son's like, when these white folks come, it just they don't look at us the same, and we thought you guys were here to mess with, I'm like, wait, but she's black.
Yeah, but Virginia's white.
Yeah, but still.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways,
Another
she
side note.
saved the baby.
Bernard hates action movies. He's talking about the commentary, like hates it.
What?
Action movies, yeah. Horror is just he says in action there's a guy killing all other like supposedly bad guys, but who's to say who's bad and good in life and what the morals are, and it's really just a murderer and exactly. And you can pay a stunt coordinator and whatever enough money and they'll cough out an action film. I just thought that was weird.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah.
I hope Jean-Claude Van Damme like roundhouse kicks him in the mouth.
Oh yeah.
Which, speaking of stunt coordinators, Walter Scott was the stunt coordinator on this film. He had just done Backdraft.
Oh, Walter Scott.
Ooh.
And so the
That's
whole
a
bonfire
classic.
thing went over nicely.
Oh,
'cause he
yeah.
had just Backdraft, totally realistic depiction of firefighters in burning buildings. Totally realistic.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, because they all look like Kurt Russell.
Yeah, you just go in a fully burning building, no air. You don't take your air with you.
No.
You don't wear it at all. You go in, the whole room's engulfed in fire. There's little to no smoke.
Yeah, you hold your breath, Danny.
Yeah,
It's pretty simple. I know that you were a firefighter, but maybe they didn't go into in-depth training. You just hold your breath.
Yeah, they didn't cover the that portion where you just do a quickie. If you do a quickie, you're in and out, and then you're okay.
So
yeah, I mean, you don't know. It could have been a quickie, and usually you don't like put on like the whole thing. You just put boots and a jacket on. Like
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
you don't need the pants. The pants are. It weighs you down. Do you want to be agile, right?
Yeah.
You want to show off.
Oh,
You want to
yeah.
show off. You want to show off
you
the
might as
goods.
well just go naked.
You worked really hard to get into that kind of shape.
Yeah,
of
course.
what's the point of covering up with clunky firefighter stuff?
So you're saying it was more realistic when Virginia Madsen crawled out of the fire and her body was half on fire and her hair burnt and then she died.
Yeah, I don't know how she died still, but she
died.
did.
Yeah, I mean, I
Because
guess
she was totally fine when she handed the kid off.
Yeah, and then she died.
I think
her hair went up in flames.
I think
quick.
the scene switched, and a couple of the gangsters came up and just jabbed her right in the side with a shiv. She handed the baby
With a
off.
shiv.
They handed the baby off, and someone just came behind her and shot her right through the back of the head.
lady.
It was actually that little kid.
Yeah. What was the kid's name again?
I
Roger?
forgot. He's like, Candyman, bitch.
Because he sees the hook going down and it's actually hurt. Why'd she keep the hook?
I don't know.
She kept
I heard
the
you
hook.
looking for Candyman, bitch.
I heard you're looking for Candyman, bitch.
Now it's not Candyman, but it's Helen. Oh, Helen.
Yeah, Helen. Which
Helen,
I
and
gotta
the fifth
say,
time, Helen. The ending was good.
I loved the ending. I
Yeah.
thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I did love the ending.
Yeah, with him bloodied up in the
Yeah,
bathtub
yeah.
and the white nippy shirt.
I thought it
girl.
was great. The ending was awesome.
Yeah, it was actually a good ending because a lot of these 90s horror movies that we've been watching have shitty endings, and this one actually did it justice.
Also in the commentary, Tony Todd just really said he thought maybe they should have covered him up more or not made him look so plain because he doesn't want this role to define his entire career.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Whoops-a-daisy.
It's a little too late for that.
Because that already happened.
That's kind of happened. Because the commentary was in 92, and obviously...
I don't think it was in 92. Well, it was whenever they did the special edition DVD.
DVD. Digital video disc.
And he was actually, when they filmed this, he was already, he was almost 40, I think. He was like 38 years old or something.
Was he?
I was looking at when he was born and when this was filmed. I think he was 38. So...
I should look up his name.
It pretty much defined his career. I think
That's too bad.
whenever anyone is like Tony Todd and someone's like, huh? I think the next thing is Candyman.
Yeah.
Driven.
Driven.
Yeah, Candyman.
Driven, yeah, hey. So our if John's
He was
listening,
Driven.
our buddies at the studio in Denver worked with Tony Todd on like 2 different films, I think, Driven and Broken Cross recently,
Yeah.
that they directed and produced. So Tony Todd, they're friends with Tony
Yeah,
Todd.
last thing, Tony Todd, last thing, well, it's probably a movie that no one's heard of, Death House, 2017. He plays the farmer Asa.
Oh, yeah, Death House, household classic.
Yeah, I just
He did that Corey Feldman short movie.
Yeah. He was
That
in
short horror movie with Corey Feldman, which was awful.
I don't know which one that is.
He was in Final Destination 5.
Yeah, apparently he was also in
Hatchet 2.
The Rock. He was like a...
Yeah, he was a bad guy in The Rock. He was all
Rock.
like, "We go get these motherfuckers."
Yeah.
And Ed Harris is like, "Nah, man, we just bluffing the whole time." And he was like,
true.
He was a bad guy. He was awesome in that movie.
Yep. And then they wanted to get Ed Harris, so he put on his deep sea diving suit and jumped out. And then he went and saw aliens, and they brought him back up to the surface, even though he had ran out of air fluid. Right?
I'm sure something similar.
Yeah, he was.
Rob, have you not seen The Abyss?
Oh, he was in The Crow.
Who was in there?
Tony Todd.
No, he was that guy. He was
Grange.
oh, not Grange. I was thinking of
You're thinking of Fire It Up guy.
Yeah, fire it up. What is that guy? The black guy with the knives. What's his name?
Tebow. Tebow. TT.
T-Bird.
T-Bird.
No, it's Tintin.
Tintin. Yeah, Tintin.
Tintin.
Oh, Devil's Night's my new favorite holiday.
Fire it up. Fire it up.
Tintin. Yeah.
Fire it up. That's what's his name's best movie. No, I say Christy because he says Christy in Resurrection a lot, but his name is actually
Yeah, the guy. He has a voice like that.
yeah,
too.
him and
He was in Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, he just says. I just picture him going Christy. What the fuck is his name?
I don't know, but the Crow is a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh
it is.
yeah.
That's another great soundtrack too. That whole Nine Inch Nails soundtrack. It's a great movie.
Oh, the soundtrack's great in that. I love the soundtrack. Oh yeah, his name is no, it's not Michael Wincott, is it? No. Ah, shoot.
What are you not seeing it?
No, I just can't. I'm
Just
looking.
look him up on IMDb.
Okay.
The Crow.
Well, I'm here looking at the Crow on Wiki.
Oh no! You have the IMDb
Okay.
shit to find people's names.
Yeah.
I don't remember The Abyss that well. I remember.
The Abyss is
movie.
great.
Michael Bean. I don't know. I forgot the girl's name, but great movie.
Michael
Yeah,
Bean.
It was really, really good.
Yeah, Michael Bean played Coffee.
You mean Michael Bean?
Ed Harris.
No, Bean. I don't know. I don't know.
That's
who
how you
Bean
say
is.
his name. Is Michael Bean.
Bean.
I think we've
My-
wrapped up
my-
Candyman though.
My favorite. Well, what was it? Hold on, damn it. There was The Abyss, and then what was the one before The Abyss?
With
Hold on.
Ed Harris.
No, Leviathan. That was my favorite one.
I think I have seen that, but that's newer than The Abyss, I think, isn't it?
I don't remember. Well, Leviathan was 1989, and that
Oh,
had
never mind. I haven't seen
Leviathan had Peter Weller, who played RoboCop, and Marv from Home Alone. It's the same thing. It's a submarine.
I haven't seen it.
Leviathan's good. I've seen Abyss. I think.
Yeah, it's good.
Michael
You gotta watch
Wincott is his name.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I think that wraps up Candyman.
Yeah, the Candyman can. The Candyman can because he mixes it with blood.
Makes the world taste good.
It's not blood, but he does in this one.
Yeah, I loved it. Great
Yeah.
movie. I really don't have much bad to say about it.
Yeah, there wasn't no holes. Really?
No, this was a great
Love
movie.
the soundtrack. I'm going to be listening to the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, the
on
soundtrack
YouTube.
was
Sitting
great.
there.
And it was Mary Elizabeth Mastrotoni who was in Abyss
Oh
with
yeah, yes.
God,
She-
I wouldn't recogniz that.
She's been
name.
married a bunch of times. And she's kept all the last names.
She played Al Pacino's sister in Scarface.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I remember
Okay,
that.
all right.
Yes, I do remember that.
Well, let's move on to our last segment of what'd you watch this week.
Ooh. I have one.
Rob, did you watch anything this week?
I watched Creep.
Oh, yeah. I have it saved. Is it good?
Oh, it is so good. It's got
about the photographer or whatever?
Yeah, it's got Mark Duplass in it, who I like from The League. He's usually really, really funny, but this movie it's about a guy who places an ad on Craigslist, and he hires this photographer to document like a portion of his life because he claims that he's dying of cancer or something.
Yeah.
And it just gets really, it's really off-putting, but it's very good. It's got a great ending. The ending is like, wow, it's really cool.
Is that all you watched?
And I guess, yeah, it's probably the only notable thing that I watched. I tried to watch We Are Still Here.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, well, it was. I work stuff got in the way, but Creep was really good. Creep was very
I'll have
good.
to watch that.
You guys are gonna be proud of me. I watched 2 horror movies.
Oh. What'd you
Oh,
watch?
so no Finding Nemo this
need
week.
to find
No, I when I have a little time, I those are what I watch usually. But I did watch Devil's Candy and Train to Busan.
Wow.
So they both were great, man.
I still haven't watched Devil's Candy yet.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong? Why would you watch Creep before Devil's Candy?
Because Mark Duplass is a hottie, man.
What about Ethan Embry all ripped up with tats on his back?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's out of my league, It's like I'll never be able to get that. But Mark Duplass, he's kind of like, I was going to watch Devil's Candy, and then Creep came up on my recommendations, and I was thinking, like, holy shit, Mark Duplass in a horror movie. This is going to be really interesting, and it was. But I will watch. But you've already watched it. Everybody knows it's
the
good.
guy, the killer, Pruitt Taylor Vince, he was awesome.
Yeah, he's from Identity.
Yeah, he's one that you could relate to. He was really good.
Oh, Identity. That's another badass movie.
I love Identity.
He's the guy that all the people are inside of.
Yeah.
I loved Identity. That was a great Cusack movie.
Oh, yeah, and Ray Liotta.
I rewatched The Conjuring.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did it suck just as bad as the first time?
I don't think it's that bad. And it's so weird because if you look on IMDb, there's like tons of reviews just praising it. And then there's a lot of reviews just saying it's absolute shit. So
it is absolute shit.
I don't think it's absolute shit. I think it's a little creepy.
I heard really good.
The Warrens are con artists.
Okay. I will say that I have much less respect for the Warrens after covering Amityville, and also after going through the Enfield Poltergeist episodes of Last Podcast on the Left.
Yes, and the Amityville episodes of that are just as good.
Because they covered the Warrens?
The Warrens show up briefly in the whole Enfield Poltergeist thing.
They show up for one day and they get kicked out.
They aren't even invited, which is so dumb because The Conjuring 2 is just based on them being there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and him singing Elvis songs with these poor kids.
Really, the only reason I watched The Conjuring is because I did listen to those episodes. I wanted to rewatch Conjuring 2, but I felt like I should watch Conjuring 1 first because I'm OCD like that.
Yeah. Well, I hear that new Annabelle creation is really, really good. That's in theaters right now. I definitely want to see that out.
Yeah,
I heard this got great reviews. Yeah, I was thinking the other one on here, what just brought up Identity with John Cusack was it's on Netflix. It's called The Factory, and it's a serial killer movie. And Cusack is awesome.
Oh, I've seen The Factory.
The Factory. I've never seen it. Huh.
It's got Jennifer Carpenter in it and John Cusack, and it's awesome. It's so good.
It's like, is it like someone sticking a cock up in somebody?
2012, yeah.
Yeah. There's stuff like that happening.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Jennifer Carpenter, yeah, she's.
I'm in.
She's Emily Rose. That's right.
Yeah. Jennifer Carpenter is just so
she's
hot.
great, and she's in Dexter. She's Dexter's sister.
Ooh. Yeah, and Dexter married her.
Yeah, that's right. And now they're not married anymore.
Yeah,
all right.
She's available.
Well, I think that wraps up our Candyman ep. Definitely go to patreon.com/cultclassichorror. And if you like what we're doing, support us there, and you'll get a little something in return.
Yes.
And with your help, we'll be able to do a lot more stuff. We're working on a film right now, writing some scripts, and we want to show up at more conventions. So we'll be able to do that stuff with you guys' help. cultclassichorror.com. Join the group for F's sake. If you're not in the group, you need to get in there. Just search Facebook for Cult Classic Horror, and we have a page and a group. So like the page if you haven't, but definitely join the group. It's blowing up. We're talking about horror all day long, nonstop.
Yes. It's a great group.
Follow me at Danny. What am I on fucking Twitter? Danny Bonin.
I'm Scotty Bonin on Twitter
and Instagram. Might be Danny.Bonin. What do you? Are you just the Rob?
I think I'm the Rob O'Neill on Twitter or something. I'm in the group all the time. I guess you could just.
Yeah.
I'm not on Instagram or the Twitters so much, but you could follow my Facebook account or look for me in the group.
Well, if you follow us on Twitter, then we'll be on it more and we'll use it.
Yes, we will. Damn it!
I don't trust the Twitters, man. That's how they find you.
Okay, Rob's hiding from the government. I forgot.
I'm constantly hiding from the government.
What he's really hiding from is Clive Barker. I want that beard on my ball sack now.
No, Clive. I'm a pitcher, not a catcher. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you guys so much.
And we'll catch you next week.
Candyman 2. Get those memes out.
Bloody broad. Yeah.
That's so hot.
Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.